I'm making Sichuan boiled fish and pig intestine. It's a really classic dish and super spicy, has a lot of flavor. So I want to go through the ingredients that we have. Today we're cooking with cornstarch, baking soda, salt, sugar, white pepper powder, chicken broth powder, an egg, some tilapia, some Russian cooking wine, doubanjiang, which is a chili bean paste, pickled chilies, ginger, green Sichuan peppercorns, some arbol chilies, but more traditional chili would be probably better, a bunch of cloves of garlic, a Sichuan hot pot base, bean sprouts, shiitake mushrooms, and some scallions, as well as some pork intestines. So the first ingredient we're going to prepare is the pork intestine. I'm going to be putting it in a big metal bowl. So we're going to basically fill this up with water, and then we're going to put some salt in it at first and kind of scrub it. That's going to help get rid of some of the funky smell of the pork intestine. We have our pork intestine here in some water, and we're just going to put about, I don't know, like 10 grams of salt, maybe 20 grams of salt in there. And this is just to scrub the pork intestine. After this, we're going to actually rinse off the pork intestine, and we're going to put baking soda and some hard liquor into it to once again get rid of the smell. And now we're going to throw in the baking soda, which will help really tenderize everything. As well as, like, I thought I had liquor, but I don't, so I'm just gonna stick with some cooking wine. This is just Shaoxing cooking wine. Now I'm going to clean the intestines. There's this fat membrane, basically, and I'm gonna trim it away with some scissors. Now we're going to boil the intestines. So I have this pot of boiling water, and I'm gonna put a little bit more baking soda in just to make sure that we completely tenderize it. You don't wanna put too much in though, otherwise it'll affect the flavor. I'm going to clean all of my garlic. An easy way to clean garlic is to take a clove and just smash it lightly, and that will remove most of the skin, and then you can chop it up. Now we're gonna chop up the garlic. You just kind of do a rough chop first and then go over it a few times until it gets to like a pretty fine mince. Now we're gonna peel our ginger. An easy way to peel ginger is just using a teaspoon. For this dish, you don't have to peel it. Now we are going to slice the ginger. Just slice it up, and then we're actually going to chop it as well. Now I'm going to slice the scallions. These will be used at the end for a garnish. Now let's chop up the doubanjiang, which is the chili bean paste. Usually it's good just for textural reasons to chop up the beans and the chilies to make sure that you're not getting big chunks of it in the dish. I'm doing this on a different cutting board, not the wooden cutting board, to make sure that the red oil doesn't stain the cutting board. I'm going to do the same thing with the pickled chilies. I like chopping these up a little bit finer just for textural reasons. Now I'm going to chop up the hot pot base. This is beef fat based hot pot sort of spice mix. Yeah, it's pretty perfumey. You can tell there's star anise in it. And all we're gonna do is just just chop it up, chop the brick up, and this is going to melt down when we are stir frying. I'm going to slice the chilies, and I'm just going to use scissors. I cleaned these off from after I was cutting the intestines, so just cutting them in half and making sure that some of the seeds come out, and these will be used later on to finish the dish. Clean and chop the shiitake mushrooms. All I'm really doing is removing the stem and quartering them. So pretty simple way to prepare them. Prepare the fish. We're gonna slice it, and then we're going to marinate it in some egg, some starch, and some cooking wine as well. So now we're going to marinate the fish. I'm going to pour a little bit of salt, a little bit of Shaoxing wine, an egg, and then some starch. Now we're going to slice up the pork intestines into pieces, basically. We want them about 1 inch long. Okay, now we are all ready. We have our pork intestine, our fish that's marinating, we have our spicy hot pot base, doubanjiang, the chili bean paste, ginger, garlic, scallions, pickled chilies, dried chilies, Sichuan peppercorns, the chicken broth powder, salt, and sugar that we'll use to sort of taste, and some white pepper as well, soybean sprouts, and then the shiitake mushrooms. And we'll go out with oil and the wok, and we will cook it now. Okay, and we're cooking. First thing we're gonna do is turn on the burner. Gonna get it pretty hot at first. It's pretty hot now. We're going to pour in some oil, a healthy amount of oil. Put in half of our garlic. Most of our ginger. And we're just gonna stir fry this a bit until it becomes aromatic. You just kind of want to extract the flavors. And you also want to put in the pickled chilies. That's important. All right. Now we're going to put in the doubanjiang. And we're going to mix in the doubanjiang until the oil turns red. Now in with the hot pot base. Shit is hot. And that's just gonna melt down. Now we're gonna go in with some water. Get that up to a boil. Okay, now it's boiling. We're gonna throw in the mushrooms first and let those cook for a bit. And then we're gonna also throw in the bean sprouts a little bit after the mushrooms. And I'm gonna throw in the bean sprouts now. And we're just gonna boil these a little bit. Then we're gonna take out the mushrooms and the bean sprouts and set them aside at the bottom of a large bowl. Then we're gonna throw in the intestines as well as the fish that we got going here. Just move it around a bit. Just want to kind of nudge it around. Don't want the fish to fall apart. Now you want to season it a bit. A little bit of sugar to balance the heat. A little bit of chicken bouillon powder. Some salt. I like some white pepper. I'm going to take this and pour it in here. Okay, now we're gonna make the final sort of oil to finish this dish. Now we're just gonna put in a healthy amount of oil. Gonna put in the rest of the garlic, the rest of the ginger, as well as the green Sichuan peppercorns. That's all gonna get very fragrant. That's done, and then I'm gonna just throw in the peppers really quick, turn everything off, and we're going to pour in the hot oil. To end, just putting the scallions over the dish, kind of to finish it, and it's done. So that is the boiled pig intestine and fish. So you can see this is the final dish. You got all that delicious oil on top with the scallions, the spicy peppers. Stuff is real good. Really, really good.